race, right, with the Joe Rogan situation, because we have now Joe Rogan facing a similar potential, not banning from a platform, but potential banning, right? Whoopi hasn't been banned, but people are now protesting. They want her off of The View completely. They don't want her on ABC because they were like, that's too far. Why would she say that? But she has then apologized, right? But she is a black woman. It's a different type of situation. Now we have Joe Rogan, a white man at the height of his career path. There's no one bigger than Joe Rogan in podcasting. There's no one bigger than Joe Rogan in that space. Spotify, he basically almost owns the app, right? But he's a white man, and he's rich. And he's been not visualed, but there's a video out of a compilation of him saying the N-word. And there's 110 episodes that have been deleted from Spotify. And I think they're directly tied to the N-word episodes. So it was either him or a guest saying it. That's a big number.
That's crazy.
We haven't even recorded that many episodes. That's a lot of episodes.
But was he saying like saying it or quoting?
So that's his thing. In his apology, he basically summarized it as he was quoting it for the most of the time. He was quoting it. He was saying it in a...
Also depends in what way he said.
Yeah, because it was like... And that's the thing, because some people...
Quoting, but you can make it sound like you're having fun saying it.
Yeah, because, when you get
to
to evil with it.
Fuck out.
I can't lie, there was some videos that, like, you can tell in his mind he hesitated real quick. And then I seen some that he'll ask the guest, and he'll be like, say the word, bro.
Oh, I saw that one where he was like baiting the guest, the comedian. It was like
just say the word, like, he was like, we're not trying to mean that. Say the word. And
he was like peer pressuring him to like joke around to say it.
And he was like, I'll say it, and then he said it. Like,
so that shit came off nasty.
So crazy.
Yeah. Especially that one. It was like, bro,
it was bad. Yeah.
What the fuck? And it's like, at the end of the day, like, he's wrong. Like, he shouldn't have said that shit. And he knows that. You know, that's why he's trying to move forward. You being an Afro-Latina young female artist, you were familiar with Joe Rogan. When you saw that, what was your first thought when you saw this news? Did you know that he did this before? Was it news to you? Like how it was, I guess, the whole world, it seems like now.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of started listening to his podcast, like, right around when the vaccine podcast started dropping. So, like, I wasn't previously a listener of his podcast, but when I did find out about it, I was like, yo, like, he has to chill, because at the end of the day, like, regardless of how he means it or what's the intent behind it, you know, he's still an older white male who's rich and just throwing this word around loosely. Like, it's just rolling off the tongue too smoothly for this man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Too comfortable.
I don't appreciate it, but I do appreciate the fact that he did take accountability for it. He did apologize for it. He wasn't using it seemingly in like a a directly offensive way towards anybody, like as a slur. So like that, these things kind of buy him points, but it's still like, bro, like, just don't say it. You know what I mean?
Don't you think it's kind of crazy too, the fact that this is coming out now with everything that's happening, like involving him?
Black History Month too.
Yeah,
you know,
but that's the argument being made by a lot of people, and I can make that argument too. I kind of agree with that, not fully. I would need more evidence, but I do think it's a pile-on due to the fact that we have the vaccine situation, which is controversial.
Don't talk about it too much.
Yeah, we can't even talk about it too much because our own podcast got deleted because we spoke about it. We had to edit it out and re-upload the fucking episode. Very frustrating, but it happens. And that's what's happening right now. There's a huge censorship sort of like atmosphere in the world, and I think that they're targeting Joe Rogan because, yes, he did say the N-word, especially the ER. Don't say that.
Yeah,
You're
ER,
white.
yeah.
You're fucking don't. But there is a but. Why is there a but? There is a but. Calm down. Okay, this is the but. The but is this was years ago.
Bro, like 2011.
So you have to acknowledge the fact that, okay, he was wrong, but this was public. This has been out for years. So people are taking it and making it like a fucking divisive thing, like compiling it. And now after the vaccine, okay, he apologized for that. Let's add this. Wait, you guys don't like him because of that? I never liked him because look at this. Look at this compilation. And it's like, damn. I think the only bright side to this is that it's going to enlighten him because I felt like he was enlightened. But I guess when I think about it more, we really haven't gotten, you know, like a full-on insightful apology from him how we got now. And he seems to like realize like, yo, I should have never said that shit. I am white and I'm fucking dumb for that. and I'm gonna learn from this. And maybe now you will have more black guests and more, he already said it with the vaccine. I'm going to have the opposing side more. I think he's going to diversify that shit more and going to take it more serious when it comes to his guest lineup and like his content scheduling and creation, organizing it. Because before it seems like he didn't. It was just off the cuff, and that's how he became who he is, Joe Rogan, because people loved it. It was consistent, just off the cuff, no structure. One of the first podcasts ever to exist, and it's still running. And it's like, this is what's gathered him that major $100 million, $300 million reign, right? He's going to be a billionaire one day because he's friends with billionaires, so it's going to happen. But it's like, just because you're that doesn't mean that you can be ignorant. Like, you have to potentially organize your platform, and it's right. But it's like, there is manipulation behind it. We cannot act like this is not some sort of like media censorship. It is. There's a media censorship happening right now. We face it here. Like, that kind of proved it to me more. Like, with that blocking shit, I was like, yo, this is, the fuck?
We didn't even like
what the fuck?
Like give info on it.
Yeah,
we legit
man.
just mentioned it.
You said the name.
You said the name, bro. And I'm like, yo, we're going through this ourselves at a small scale. Imagine like the big time people, the frustration they must face. And it's a fact, man. It's a fact. Now, if people have come out and there's like a whole like energy in the community, comedians, everyone's supporting Joe Rogan and validating him for people like, yo, he's a good guy. He's not racist. Jay Prince came out of nowhere. Basically did one of these. If you're watching on YouTube, he did one of these. The classic Jay Prince, he's like, yo, he's not racist. That's my friend Joe Rogan. I was like, God damn, if you say so, Jay Prince, whatever the fuck you say is real. Yes. Whatever the fuck he says.
Yes.
He squashed the Kanye Drake beef. That man can do anything. He's the living, walking Thanos. So if he says Joe Rogan's not racist, Joe Rogan's not racist, right? Mm-hmm. And David Goggins has come out and basically said, like, if you motherfuckers, you dumb motherfuckers believe, like, we're dumb enough to not have a fucking mind of ourselves, like, as supporters and like fans of stuff, like, you're crazy. Like, if you think that just because he says some shit is going to make, like, everyone else, like, follow that, then it says more about yourself than anything else. Basically, to summarize what David Goggins said, right? And I agree with both of those energies. It's like, yes, he did say the N-word, but he can not be racist. Just because he said that word, it doesn't necessarily make him pure racist. Like, by definition, racism is like, you think your race is more superior than someone else's race. He does. If you listen to him, as long as I've listened to him, it does not give that vibe at all. It just gives ignorance. He's not black like me. He's not from the hood like me. He's not going to relate to these fucking situations. Black Lives Matter, policing. I disagree with him. But I agree to disagree because a lot of his topics with that was, again, unrelatable to my life. So I can't expect a multimillionaire guy who has this background like him, being from Boston, one of the most racist towns and cities, right? Mm-hmm. Even though he might not have been racist, he was definitely around it more. His friends were definitely probably racist, 9 times out of 10. I'm nearby Boston. I know how Boston works. Let's not be ignorant to that. But he's not going to relate to me in that aspect. But again, I agree to disagree. I take what I can from it. And how David Goggins says, he says some shit I don't agree with. It's not going to manipulate me. Like, you have to also realize, like, where you stand in life. And I think there's some beautifulness to that madness of, like, you can agree with someone, but if you're just constantly, like, for example, if you're just constantly listening to CNN, let's say, they say one thing, and if you listen to Fox, they say something else. If you're constantly listening to that one side, you're going to only think that one side. You're not going to have no other perspective, right? Same with anything in life. If you're constantly listening to J. Cole, you're only going to think J. Cole. Like, you don't, like, if you close your mind and become that one-sided with a certain topic or situation, you're going to live and die by that, right? So that's the thing. Joe Rogan sort of embodies the opposite of that, where he taps into everything. But there's going to be some ignorance within that, Right. And I think you got to, I'm not going to necessarily ride for him, like, ride or die. Like, if it was, like, a crazy video where he's, like, going off on someone and calling them or making fun of it and being, like, literally devilish with the N-word, I'll be like, hold up. Yeah. Especially if it's recent, like it happened yesterday. Like, let me delete Spotify. I'm gonna delete Spotify.
In the rare, well, not rare occasion, it happens many times, but there are some white boys that, do grow up in the culture and grow up with us. And,
yes.
And it makes more sense for them because
Yeah.
they grow up hearing this all the time.
Yeah,
Like
so,
naturally,
like-
at some point, eventually,
Yeah,
they're
and
gonna say
if
it.
they were to say it and they don't get pressed, they're like, oh, they get the
Nah,
passive shit.
and it's never the ER, you know. It's always
the
like,
NIGJ.
in a respect of my
Yeah.
boy.
And a
type
respectful,
shit,
trying to like be cool,
yeah.
you know.
Like,
And there's
you in
occasions,
tune.
yeah, where we've seen it. Growing up, we were so young, you probably won't call nobody out. Now that we're older, if it happens, and if it's like, what the fuck, you're gonna call someone out, you correct them, or at least you'll sit down and talk to them, be like, bro, this is why you shouldn't say that. Like, you
Yeah.
just don't say, like, it's wrong, and they might understand. Maybe they haven't had that conversation. These people need that conversation. These white people, they're not us. They don't know a lot of our plight. You know, you can try to teach it to them, but if they're not going through it, if they're not being stopped by the police, like they're not facing this shit, like a fake busted tail light, like why'd you pull me over? Like if they're not going through this shit that we face, like then they're not really gonna get it. And we can't it's not we're living in a perfect world, unfortunately. So we're gonna face old skeletons being dug out by people's closets, and people try to use it against them, like they're doing with Joe Rogan right now. So you guys comment down below, share your opinion on Joe Rogan. Very spicy topic. It doesn't get as spicier than that.
Yeah,
that's like the craziest shit. Like the Whoopi shit was something, but that Joe Rogan shit is like on another level right now. People are like, you know, picking sides like crazy, you know, and people are debating like someone in his position. Let's play with this idea. What would you guys do? People are playing with the idea of like, one, should he like, or would he be able to run for president? Right. Two, also, should he create his own like Facebook or create his own shit? Because he's best friends with Elon Musk. Like he can do whatever fuck he wants, right? But the problem with Joe Rogan is that he never like taps into that. Like he recently had the Beeple from that creates NFTs on. So he spoke about NFTs, and Joe was like, I don't know, I don't want to do NFTs. Like he's very more like, I'm just the guy that talks.
He's an old head.
Old head, right? But with his power and stuff, he can potentially do some shit like that where he can run for president. He can create his own platform, his own Spotify or whatever the fuck. But it's like, would you? I don't know if I would. Me personally. I don't know about you guys, but how would you feel?
I feel like, I mean, him starting the podcast was for him to just get away from, I think, everything, you know, with
Like an escape.
yeah, like I mean, he was doing the UFC, he was doing like I don't know,
Stand-up comedy.
stand-up comedy, and I just feel like with the podcast, it's more just like a private space, you know, and he just records it for himself. Well, he records it for everybody.
Yeah.
But I feel like when it comes to the podcast, is that he wants that to be just private, you know, just a learning space. Don't really like. I think if he goes on with making his own social media and stuff and starts controlling people and what they say and all that, it's like now it's like, damn, like, you know,
Yeah.
you've changed everything. You've gone from a guy who just is the middleman for knowledge to now just controlling everything that's being said. Like I don't think social
I
media.
wouldn't say like him start his own social media. I'd say like his own site. Just his own site. It's like ain't nobody gonna fucking censor me. You feel me?
Right.
I make the rules of my thing. In a certain way where it's like whatever the fuck I say just goes. As in like if I said something about vaccines or whatever, ain't no upper ups gonna tell me you can't put this up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can see that because it's like you don't have to pay these companies. You don't have to give them anything, no royalties, no whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
It's just everything that's coming is just for you. So I could see that. You feel me? If really like everyone just tries to fucking cancel him and just not give him any fucking
Even money.
If it gets
Yeah.
to that point, because I feel like Spotify is still standing behind him. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
Yeah, Daniel
The
Ek,
views are still there.
the
Well, the thing is
CEO,
that-
said that he's still standing behind them and that they're going to donate $100 million to basically, I heard it again this morning, but I don't want to misquote him. But to summarize it, it was basically to struggling creators, I think on their platform. So probably like podcasters that they see on their platform.
we're
and-
struggling.
But then, or struggling, but it was like a different type of word that he used, but I don't know what he necessarily meant. I feel like they were better off saying just black. Like they could have just said black. Like if that's what you're trying to mean, let's cut to the chase. And aside from that, it is Black History Month, so just be like, oh, we're just gonna do this for black creators, right? You know, but at least they're doing something. $100 million is like a lot. They're trying to like, I guess, match his salary. I'm not sure if that's what he makes this year or that's his entire deal, because I thought the deal was $300 million. So like it's like we don't even know. Maybe he's getting paid under the
A couple
table.
years, like
I don't know what the fuck it is. Because I think he's worth, in my opinion, he would be worth more than $100 million. There's an app right now called, you guys ever heard of it? Rumble? You ever heard of Rumble? I think it's Rumble. You ever heard of Rumble? No. So Rumble is basically a conservative app, majority conservative, like users on it. But it's like an app that's like a competitor to YouTube. And they're successful. Like they have a lot of money. They have a big following, but obviously they're not YouTube. They're not Spotify. But they offered Joe $100 million yesterday. They were like, hey, if all else fails, like Marlon said, come over here. We'll give you $100 million. We'll match whatever they're paying you or whatever is alleged. We'll give you $100 million, Joe, for just your videos. We don't even want your audio. We just want your videos of all your podcasts. So that's like, damn, hold up. So, but that's why it makes me think, like, if people are offering this motherfucker money, maybe make your own shit. Or do your own website, like Marlon says.
I seen something that, like, in ads, I think it was, in 1 year, Rogan made, I think, like 60 mil. Just ads alone.
An advertisement.
An advertisement.
Not
even the contract.
He makes money off his ads alone, especially audio-wise, because if you listen to him, there's always ads.
Ads, okay. Ads as in, like, his videos?
Yeah, like the
random
sponsors, like a Manscaped.
So ads are sponsors.
Well, both.
It's the same thing.
Same thing.
Right, but you know how this, like, for example, like, if we post a video on YouTube, they throw whatever ad they fucking want. Yeah. But then if we if someone actually hit us up and sponsored,
when you hear it, it's a mix of both. Sometimes it'll be him saying it, and sometimes it'll just be like a commercial.
I mean, it's still a lot of fucking money, but
I think it's just both, like with sponsors and ads. Like
crazy.
I just think with this censorship shit going on, like he's better off just like going his own way. Because even if Rumble were to like, if everything were to crash and burn, and Rumble offered him a contract, like. That's, like you said, more of a conservative site. And he seems to be, like, one of those people who wants to be unbiased or at least come off that way. So,
liberal.
Like,
he tries to be liberal and then sometimes conservative.
Yeah, so, like, I don't think that would really, like, go well over with him either. Because then when he starts giving leftist opinions, then it's going to create problems with them.
Yeah, because he's, like, picking a side.
So I think
they just got to stop censoring shit.
Is have his own shit.
He would have to have his own shit. But, speaking of censoring and stuff, so when it comes to the situation of him speaking about the vaccine, you said that you started listening to him around that sort of topic, right?
Yeah. When he was having guests like Dr. Robert Malone on this podcast and stuff, like that's kind of.
I don't know if we can even say that doctor's name, but keep it going.
Right, I know.
this whole.
No, we good. They better not, motherfuckers.
This is crazy. But yeah, that's when I started listening to him because like I'm a nurse, so like. I was affected directly by the vaccine. Like, I actually left work for a period of 3 months because I refused to get vaccinated. And, like, I was very enlightened by the podcast itself, and that's what really reeled me in, that he would have a guest like that would talk about the vaccine in that way. And I was surprised that it wasn't censored on Spotify yet, because everything seems to be getting taken down. So, but, yeah.
I like that perspective. You know, you are a rapper, but she's a nurse. So we got to clap it up for our essential workers. You know, you're fighting the good fight for us in this crazy time, you know, putting your life at risk. And it's crazy how we might have our opinions behind, like, our own phones and, like, our comments and this and that, fuck the vaccine or this and that. But then your opinion, in my opinion, is more validated because you're actually there. You're seeing the patients of COVID. You're seeing the workers that might deal with the patients of COVID. You might see workers who caught COVID. Have you ever caught COVID?
I got COVID.
Oh, you did, right?
Time this year. Yeah,
like, this year, right? Yeah, that's true. A couple weeks ago, that's true. So it's like you're there, you know. And do you think it was maybe from your job, or would you know?
I don't. No. It wasn't because I wasn't working.
Oh, you weren't working at the time.
But what's crazy is that I caught COVID the week before I went back to work after about a month after I had gotten vaccinated, and they asked me to come in COVID positive to work.
Wow.
Like to come take care of
patients. I was at work.
Breaking news. Corruption in the city.
Rhode Island. So
you know, it's not 2 weeks no more. It's 5 days now.
It was like 4 or 5 days into my symptoms. So they were like, nah, like you good, come in. I was like, wow.
Damn, this episode gonna get fucking taken down.
Nah, we good. It's all allegedly. Allegedly. These are all allegedly, you know, we don't have no actual proof. You know?
Right.
But she's speaking her truth at the end of the day, you know, fuck it. This is her real life, man. And Yeah, that's true. I admire that courageousness of like, you know, at the same time you're not falling for the mob mentality, literally falling for the idea of, yo, we're not gonna pay you, so what are you gonna do? You're like, fuck, shit, fuck it, I'm gonna still follow what I believe in. Like, I don't want to be forced to do this, like, you know. And you're not necessarily fully anti-vax. You were just like saying that it's because you don't like authority. What is it? Authoritative.
I have issues with authority, but I feel like I'm not really. I think because I'm a Libra, I'm always in the middle of things. So I never feel like I'm more on one side or the other. Like, I feel like there's right views in both senses of the situation. Like, I feel like both sides can have their reasonings, and it can make sense. I just think what's important is that you believe in what you're doing. It makes sense to you. It's the right thing to do for you, and that you be respectful of whoever may or may not agree with you.
Facts. I can see that. I can see that. Shout out to the Libras worldwide.
Big facts.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a Libra. I'm not a Libra. I'm not a Libra. I think I'm a Pisces.
Let's not get into it.
I don't know my horoscope shit. I don't know my horoscope shit, but I guess she's right. You know, it's because she's a Libra.
It's all about balance with Libras, so I don't like to be too hard on either side.
You know what I'm saying? She's Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's a Libra.
He's probably a Libra.
He's probably a Libra. Google it right now, Erlen. Is Joe Rogan a Libra? We gotta know this. We gotta know this to continue forward. If not,
I kind of want to be a Libra. Can I be a Libra?
No, it's
Bro, you might be.
We're too indecisive
signed.
over here. We're too indecisive.
well, you can't change signs.
Oh man.
What is Marloon?
You can't change your signs,
No,
Marlon. Can you?
Fucking change
No,
your
you gotta change your
No.
birthday. If you change your sign. He make it seem like it's like a political party. I want to be a Libra.
I'm an Aries.
What's your Rogan, Erlen?
Yo, this shit gave me the sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars.
Oh man.
It gave you the whole astrology chart.
Well, would you know off of a birth date? If someone gave you a birth date, would you know what someone is?
I could take a good.
He was born in August. What's August 11th? Oh yeah, you just said August 11th.
I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a Leo.
Oh, he's a Leo.
Yeah, he's a fire.
So he's a bad person. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
For my ambition.